This is a brand new behavior that they've all started to do every time the door opens. Every time the door opens. And I, of course, am getting frustrated with them. I'm like, why? For the love of all things holy, why are you doing this? And of course, I know why they're doing it. I know why they're doing it. They cannot interpret the emotion that is going on in my household right now. They can't possibly interpret it. The complexity of the scent of the emotion that is going on in our house, they don't understand it. They can't understand it. Ah, yes, it is that time of year. Kids are going back to school, so many changes. Maybe you're dropping off a kid at college like me. Lots of things to talk about today on the podcast. Let's get into it. Ready to have a calm and peaceful life with your dog without the stress of those fear-based behaviors? Hi, I'm Tracy, and I've been there, overwhelmed by all the conflicting dog training advice and unsure of what to do next. But now I help dog lovers like you simplify your life with your dog by building confidence naturally, fostering trust, and addressing those fear-based challenges. So, if you're ready, stop chopping those chicken wieners and let's get to it. Hey there, friend. Okay, listen, real talk. If you've been following me for a while and you're loving these podcast episodes, then this is your sign to make sure that you are on the mailing list. Why? Because something special is coming up soon. And while I'm not quite ready to spill the kibble, I hated that I said that. Spill the kibble just yet. Well, I'm not quite ready to tell you what it is yet because it's not quite set up. I just want you to know that if you've been searching for a way to feel more confident, more connected, and less alone in this crazy world of living with dogs, then this announcement is for you. And email subscribers will be the first to know, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. So if you're not already, go ahead and head to beyondobedience/contact. You can do a couple of things there, if I'm being honest. You could scroll down to the bottom, just quickly fill that out, make sure that you're an insider. Be an insider on the Beyond Obedience list. But then also, if you want to do me an extra Dexter special thing, you could just scroll up a little bit, hit the microphone, and leave me a testimonial. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to do that? Do that. But right now, focus, Tracy. We just want to make sure that you're on the email list. Go to beyondobedience.ca/contact. Scroll down to the bottom. Put your name, your email in there. That's it. Now we're best friends. You'll be the first to know. I'll see you there. Well, hello, my beautiful friend. It is Tracy. Welcome to Beyond Obedience, the podcast. Super duper welcome. If you are brand new, shout out to you. Welcome, my friend. Listen, I'm going to come straight out of the gate and just say things around here are a little much, if I'm being honest. If you are on my email list and you got this weekend's email, you know that I'm not doing the best right now. But I didn't want to miss this opportunity to kind of talk about that because, as you know, I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And right now, things are crazy. So there's been a lot going on. And as a result, I'm gonna come right out of the gate and let you guys know. I'm gonna let you know, my friend, my dogs are driving me crazy. They're driving me crazy. And it's not their fault, and I understand why. It still doesn't change the fact that they're driving me crazy. And I'm trying really hard to manage it. And anytime that this happens, even though, oh my God, if you ever sit back and you think to yourself, it must be nice for Tracy. She's got everything together. She's got all these good dogs and everything's great and easy. This is your opportunity for me to let you know I am you. I am you. You are me. We are the same, my friend. Life gets lifey, and life right now has been particularly unkind and unfair lifey. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to focus on the bittersweet part of the story right now because I can't focus on the other part of it right now. I will share it when I can, but right now I can't. But I wanted to so much. So if you don't know, let me just pull the curtain back a little bit. You're going to be like, follow along if you can. I'm going to pull the curtain back a little bit, and I'm going to let you know that I am literally recording this the day before it's supposed to come out, meaning it is currently Sunday. This is due to come out tomorrow. So you are getting firsthand what's exactly going on. Sometimes, obviously, we try to pre-record some things so that in cases of craziness, I would have some recorded podcasts so I don't have to worry about my podcast during times like this. However, I just got back from a fabulous trip to England, which I would love to share these. This is what makes me so crazy, and this is why I'm all over the place. I would love to share that. I had such a brilliant time. It was amazing. Shout out to Tanya and Rachel and Jason and Pat and everybody that made that trip so amazing. And I want to share everything about it, and I will, and I will. But unfortunately, I came home to tragedy. Not in my family, but it's directly affecting my family, and that has caused a lot of upheaval. And then on top of it, I am doing this podcast literally Sunday night because I just finished dropping off my son Ben at college. So I'm going to take a breath for a second. If you can kind of like go through everything that has been going on right now, currently in my life. I came back from a whirlwind trip of amazingness. So many stories, came back to tragedy, but also had to move my son. Bittersweet moments and tragedy and grief and everything all combined into an emotion that I don't even know how I'm feeling. I can't even tell you actually how I'm currently feeling. That's what's going on. And so, as I mentioned, my dogs are driving me crazy. Here's what's happening in my house right now. Dogs always amaze me how they mirror our energy and they mirror the chaos that is in our mind. So, of course, obviously, my dogs were very excited when I returned. I was gone for 12 days. So, I missed them. They missed me, all of that stuff. And like 12 days not being around my dogs, it was hard. So I am, I'm excited to see them. But as I mentioned, there was bad news. Literally, Mark picked me up and was like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but things have gone on since you left. And so I came home to that. And then on top of it, we had to move Ben out this weekend because school is starting next week. And there's all the emotions that come with that. And so here's the thing. I'll just explain what the dogs are. Here's what the dogs are doing. Here's what the dogs are doing. So the dogs have been, they come in and they sit with me either at my desk or in my room. I've been trying to rest a little bit because of all the stuff that's been going on. So I've been lying in my bed. The dogs will all get up and some will get on the bed and they'll lie around the bed. And then the moment anybody from my household gets up and leaves the house to either do chores, check the water, whatever, the regular household stuff that we always do. Whenever they would do that, my dogs would all of a sudden, all of them get up, bark crazily, and run down the hallway to the door like someone is new or coming in or whatever. And this is a brand new behavior that they've all started to do every time the door opens. Every time the door opens. And I, of course, am getting frustrated with them. I'm like, why? For the love of all things holy, why are you doing this? And of course, I know why they're doing it. I know why they're doing it. They cannot interpret the emotion that is going on in my household right now. They can't possibly interpret it. The complexity of the scent of the emotion that is going on in our house, they don't understand it. They can't understand it. They can understand lots of things. We share a lot of emotions. We know that dogs, have emotions and all of that stuff. They are emotional, sentient beings, and so they can conceive, like, a lot of the different things that we have. They will, if we are stressed, if we are frightened, they will pick up on that. So they can understand that, and they adapt to that. But I can tell you right now, I don't even know what I'm feeling. I can't even articulate what I am feeling right now. And so neither can the dogs. I'm sure the perfume of my chemical scent right now is probably something they've never experienced before, because I have never experienced this before. This is, the bittersweet part of it. This is, my first kid. Ben's my middle child, but he's my first kid that is moving out and going to college. I'm currently sitting in his room right now. Like I always recorded my podcast in Ben's room. And so I'm currently sitting in a much emptier room, and he's not here and his stuff is gone and all of that stuff. And I'm excited for him. I'm excited for him. And I'm also sad for me. And there's so many emotions. I'm sure there's many of us that know what I'm talking about, but there's also everything else that I still, I'm trying not to talk about it because I will start to cry. I'm still trying to process everything else. So obviously that's why my dogs are crazy, but it doesn't change the fact that it's making me crazy. And it doesn't change the fact that I know right now in this moment, I do not have what it takes to handle it. I don't have what it takes right now currently to handle it. And so what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Call this the DoorDash madness that's happening in my house, aka my dogs are driving me nuts. Understanding it, and I think this is one of the reasons why I focus so much on helping people understand dogs' behavior, helps to give me grace and my dog's grace, but mostly me, because I am actually giving myself grace for getting frustrated with the dogs. I know why the dogs are acting the way that they're acting. And why else wouldn't they? Like, I mean, I wouldn't now, when I say things out loud, I wouldn't expect them to act any differently than what they're currently acting like. But this was the kind of thing that before I understood it, I would think was a training issue. Like I would be like, I'm going to have to double down on training, which would make no sense in my current state of mind. There's no way I could show up, but I would be like, obviously we're going to have to train these dogs a little bit better. So I think, one of the goals of this podcast is to help share these kind of things, to allow to almost normalize it. I do want to normalize it. It's okay to get frustrated with your dogs. I get frustrated with them too. But the understanding of where it's coming from does help me to stop myself in the moment. The frustration still arises because I literally have this, I can't handle one more thing right now. But at the same time, it allows me to kind of go, they don't know any better. They're literally in, like, I keep on going back to that podcast with the horses where I'm like, they're literally in this perfume of chaos and they can't decipher it. None of my emotional state right now is probably nothing they've ever seen before, and they don't know how to handle it. And so it's coming out in this, every time the door opens, we're going to run to the door. Every time the door opens, we're going to run to the door. Part of that, like, if we want to sort of, I don't know if I want to do this, but, there's part of me that was like, I kind of feel that way about the door. Who's coming, who's going? People are coming and going. So many people are coming and going into my life, and it's it's the people that I love and the people that mean the most to me and all of that stuff. So, we have to keep remembering that dogs are like emotional thermometers, right? They don't understand Ben's going to college. They don't understand that, but they do understand that Ben's leaving, right? Like your dog knows, right? When you're going on vacation, you're packing your bag, your dogs know, like they know, they know that Ben packed up his stuff and left. And there's an energy drop. There's a stress spike. It's almost like emotional whiplash, right? So we want to normalize it, understand it, so it allows us to give the dogs grace, but also give ourselves grace. And leadership in this moment, leadership during emotional stress or emotional storms, if you will, is not going to be about how I show up, but understanding that I'm not going to show up the way that I can. So for me, this looks like we're not going to necessarily do the things that are more relationship based or challenging. What do I mean by that? Simple things like if I were to be taking them out for walks now, I'm not doing off leash. I'm not going to do off leash anything. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. If we go for a walk, it's going to be on leash. It's probably going to be at the beach. It is going to be where I find my calm and my peace and my serenity. It's going to be listening to the ocean. It's going to be doing Be With. It's going to be just how can I show up the best that I can? Right? I need to know my limitations, and my limitations are I don't have the leadership. And so it's going to look different. It's going to look like we put leashes back on. We don't test anything. If you're working with a fearful dog, we don't test stuff. Not now. Not now. That's not what we do. That's not what we do. Right? So we got to reestablish some predictability. We have to get back into calm. We have to get back into routines. I have to stop myself from yelling, "Why do you keep running to the door?" I have to be like, I'll be honest with you. Here's what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did to stop that. And you're going to be like, here's what I did. I shut the door. I shut my bedroom door. Normally, I like to leave my bedroom door open. I like the openness and being able to know what's going on. My dogs like the openness and being able to know what's going on. You know what? I shut my door. I shut my bedroom door. I'm like, they're just going to keep running every time the door opens. I shut my bedroom door. And then, even then, if they heard the door open, they would get up and I'd be like, "You're fine. Let's lie back down." Like, I had to set myself up for success, myself and my dogs. I have to set myself and my dogs up for success. I have to know my limitations, and I have to know that they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand what's going on. So instead of jumping to correction, I pause. Of course, I'm going to say how interesting, and I'm going to do the things that I need to do to make my life easier right now. And sometimes that means, for those of you that are working with reactive dogs, if you're having a moment and you need a break, maybe that means we don't walk the dogs. Maybe that means we don't walk down the street that we know that the dog that is the jerk that always sets your dog off lives. Maybe that means we do something, we put the dog in the car and we take them someplace else where we know nobody. Maybe that means renting out one of those dog friendly like fields or whatnot where you pay like $20 and you get an hour and you just let your dog run around a field. I don't know what that looks like for you, but maybe that means that we do things differently because we know that we don't have what it takes right now. And this isn't the time for training, and this isn't the time for proving anything. And this isn't the time for jumping to things. This isn't the time for anything. It's the time to just, let's make it easy. Let's do the things that are easy. If you have people over and you've been working on your dog, feeling more comfortable with guests coming over, now's not the time to do that. Now's not the time to do that. Maybe we put our dog in the other room and we just let them bark and we go, "Sorry, that's just going to be a thing that happens." Maybe we just don't invite people over right now, who knows? That's what we're doing. That's what we're using. Because that's what trust ends up looking like at the end of the day. I mean, let's talk about like what does it look like? We have to acknowledge that things are not going to be perfect right now, and they don't have to be perfect to be meaningful. And we know that when our life is messy, when we're feeling messy, our dogs are watching and they're feeling the same things, and they can't express it the way we express it, so it comes out in a different way. And those are the moments that they show us where we're at. You know, I've shared this story, you know, time and time again about, you know, when my dad passed away, and I thought I thought I had everything under control, and I came in and my dog was sitting on top of my dresser, a noof, just jumped up on my dresser. Had she ever done that before? Absolutely not. I didn't even think she could jump that high, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't even know how she got up there, but she didn't knock the TV over or any of my jewelry boxes. I don't know how she did it, but the point is, she mirrored back to me like, I'm not okay, and neither are you. And maybe we just need a moment. Maybe we just need a moment. So there you go, my friend. That's real life, pulling back the curtain right now. This is happening currently in my life. This podcast will go out. Well, you're hearing it now. I recorded it yesterday. So this is happening right now. So to anybody else who is in my position, who maybe has said goodbye to a kid that's going off to college, maybe your household is frantic because you're getting ready for kids to go back to school. Maybe this is a season of sadness for you, wherever you are in your life right now. Just know that that's okay. Your dog might feel it, or your dog is going to feel it. They might be expressing it in ways that you don't understand, but just know that now is the time to take it easy and do the things that make you successful and your dog successful. And we don't worry about any of that, right? And that is true leadership. True leadership is knowing when you don't have what it takes to currently lead the way you want to lead, and you make the adjustments and you do what you need to do. So there you go. I don't know if this helped anybody. I don't know. There's got to be more people. Hey, if you're someone that just dropped off a kid at college, let me know. Send me a message. Let me know. Bittersweet indeed. I'll end with that. We took Ben yesterday. I ended up having to stay the night. Because we had to go and get him, you know, a new desk and a new bed and all of this stuff for his place, and we had to unpack it and build it, and and that was the moment when he was like, "Why didn't Dad come?" Where are you here, Mom? You can't build things. And that is true. But we had a lot of good laughs, and we ended up staying the night and going out for dinner, and that part was nice. And today we finished up building things, and then I had to say goodbye and wish him good luck. And oh gosh, I don't know when that happened. Like a moment ago, he was 3. And now he's at college. So to anybody else that is currently in this season of change, or in a season of sadness, or going through anything, know that I get it. Your dogs get it. Well, they don't get it, but they're acting out the way they're acting out. And it's just a mirror of everything. And you can do this. And if you need help with that, I'm always here. I'm an ear. You can always get in touch with me. You can email me. If you're on my email list, you'll get my weekly emails. But, you know, you can always hit reply to those. You can reach out to me whenever. And a special shout out to those of you who reached out to me after my last email. Thank you so much. And how quickly it came in. I was in awe of how many of you reached out and asked if I was okay, and just said that you were thinking about me. And gosh, it meant the world to me. So thank you. You are truly the best people in the world. Dog people are the best people in the world. And that's why we're best friends. And I love you so, so much. Listen, if you liked this podcast, let me know. You can share this episode or any other episode with a friend, or go ahead on Apple, give me a 5-star written review. It really helps push this podcast out to more and more dog lovers like you and I. And as always, my friend, get out there today and be the person that your dog thinks you are. Even if you feel like you're falling apart, your dog thinks that you are amazing. And so do I. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Oh, and one more thing. This podcast is meant for entertainment and education purposes only, and it's not meant to replace hands-on professional training. If you are really struggling with dangerous behaviors with your dog, please reach out to a professional in your area. All right, I think that's it. Bye for now.